How's it going? This is gonna be another soft-spoken video. It seemed like you guys really liked the first one, so I decided that I'm gonna make another one. I think for the soft-spoken videos, I'm leaning towards talking about, slightly deeper topics. It seems like from the videos that do well, or at least a lot of people comment on, are the ones where I actually ramble and talk more than the videos being trigger heavy. I don't get very many comments about specific triggers as much as my voice more specifically, though some people who just find me through one of the Indian accent videos and they come to a video like this one get really confused because they think my voice sounds like this all the time, and it doesn't. The Indian accent's definitely something I learned by living in India for a little bit during my childhood. And then my parents' accent, it used to be thicker and it's gone downhill. They've lived in the States for quite a bit of time now, so the accent slowly minimizes. It's still definitely there, but just with time and practice, it normalizes. So, ironically, the book that I picked up, I don't think I can say the title without YouTube getting on me for it. It's called The Subtle Art of Not Giving Up. It's weirdly on topic for what I want to talk about today. So this video is kind of inspired by the conversation that I had yesterday. I don't know if you guys use an app called TikTok. It's definitely not for everyone, but I enjoy it. I enjoy making videos on there. They're really different than my ASMR videos, but that's okay. They're more like comedy, dark humor, stuff like that. You definitely have to adapt to the kind of stuff that they post on there versus what I might post on YouTube or Instagram or something like that. I think that's kind of the key to social media, is adapting it to a specific platform when you post on there. Otherwise, you're going to seem like you're not engaged with that kind of community at all. Anyways, I was on live yesterday just talking to some people, and someone who was 9 years old messaged me or wrote into the live that they're starting to make content, and while it's going okay, they have to deal with things like hate and stuff like that. And that's definitely something that I want to talk about a little more. I talked about it yesterday when I was on the live, in the moment, because I wasn't just going to direct them over here, but dealing with hate, especially at a young age, is really difficult. But even, at my age, I'm 24, and it still sucks for sure, but it's part of doing it. If you're interested in content creation, or you are a content creator, it's something that you have to accept as reality. It's just gonna happen. Not everyone is gonna like what you do, and that's okay. I think a lot of times you'll see big content creators say the hate comments don't really bother me anymore, and I'm not really in a position where I would say that they don't bother me anymore, but the impact that they have is minimal compared to what it used to be when I first started making stuff and putting it on the internet. So I started making videos when I was 9 or 10 years old. I think I started uploading them when I was in the 5th grade. And, they, got less than 100 views and whatnot. But, slowly some videos actually started to pick up. and I would get a lot of hate comments. I remember back in the day when it was super fun to make fun of Justin Bieber. This was like well over a decade ago, but you'd make fun of him, and like that was like my first video that got over like 1,000 views, and his fans were not happy with me at all, and I got like my first death threat when I was like 11 years old, and that's definitely not something that like most 11-year-olds are equipped to deal with. I wasn't, and from then on, it's been like a matter of building up thick skin so that you can deal with things like that. So to anyone who deals with hate comments, and you know what, I don't think this just applies to online. Even if like you're dealing with people like who are like bullying you in like school or like the workplace, or just people putting you down, there's a way, I guess, to like handle it that makes it better. So the first piece of advice that I have for that is to try not to take it personally. Usually if someone feels so inclined to comment about something, it's because on some kind of personal note, like it's affecting them. So something that you said almost in a way like triggers that kind of response in them, and that's not on you, that's on them. And the fact that they decide to represent that through something mean or hateful is not an like indication of like who you are, but more of an indication of who they are, and that they have a lot of conflict inside of them that needs to be resolved. And I think it's tough because it's not easy to call someone out who just like did that to you, because like you're still dealing with like what they said. And also I would say is the best thing to do is, if you're gonna respond, you need to think about how you want to appropriately do that. If it's online, unless I can think of like a mature way to respond to it that adds to the conversation, I'm not really about instigating something with them, because for some people who are just like trolling and stuff like that, that's what they want. They want you to lash back out against them, and I'd rather not give them what they want. So if someone consistently is like leaving hate comments or something like that, and I never respond to them, their power minimizes more and more over time, because they're putting in all this work into like me, and I'm not giving them anything back. That's never good for them. Though I will say there is a difference, because someone I know, they don't deal with like hate comments or like criticism particularly well, and they would always get upset when they got a comment like that. And I would say like the comments weren't even that hateful. They weren't hateful at all, to be honest. So some comments were critical, but like constructive still. And I think if you're getting constructive criticism, you shouldn't take that in the same vein as you would take a hate comment, because it's not someone who dislikes you or dislikes like the piece of content that you made. It's someone who almost, I would say, like sees your potential, but sees some flaws or some obstacles in your path of being successful in whatever venture you're going about. So they want to give you criticism. Like if you're making a video and someone's like like video is good, but the lighting was like pretty bad, it's not a hate comment. It's a hey, like this was almost really good, you're so close, but if you make this little tweak, you can do even better. And I think those are really, really important. I think whenever someone says something like against, like, I guess what you believe in or something that you did, it's easy to take offense to it, whenever you get called out for something, I think it's very easy for people just to inherently block that person out and be like, no, they're wrong. They have no merit in what they're saying. Like, I know me, I know what's right. But I don't think that's the mature way to go about it. If someone calling out people takes a lot of, honestly, it takes some level of like guts and confidence to like call out someone, especially if it's like one of your friends. To call them out, it can be tough because you don't know how your friend's gonna respond. You don't know if this is gonna affect your friendship if you're gonna call something out, especially if it's like something major. That's why, like, I remember when I was younger, like, when I say younger, I mean literally, like, during college, I would take it so to heart when people called me out for stuff. And I realized over time that that's just not a mature way to respond. I've learned that what I have to do, if someone has taken the effort to call me out, I have to acknowledge that it took that person, you know, a lot of courage to bring that up to me. And so I almost always thank them for, you know, the ability to do that, because it's tough. You don't want to hurt your friendship, or, you know, if like you're in a relationship, you don't want to hurt your relationship with that person because you see something wrong, but also like that the thing that you like want to call out is probably affecting whatever kind of relationship you have with that person anyways. So there's some merit in doing it. But yeah, when someone calls you out, I think the appropriate thing is to understand what they're saying, and maybe even if it helps, write down what they said and let it marinate for a bit. Don't be quick to say what you feel in the moment. Like, it's okay if someone has taken the time and effort to call you out for something. Say, hey, just like you took the time and effort to think about what you were going to say and how you're going to present it to me, I need time to think of like how I'm going to respond. I think if that person really cares about you, and obviously they care enough about you to call you out on things that they think could change, if they care about you, they'll let you take the time. Just thank them in the moment and be like, you know, I understand like all of these concerns, and I don't want to make any rash decisions. I want to think about it. And once you do that, once you spend time letting it just like marinate and just think about how you feel about what they said, because in your mind, they don't have to be 100% right, but you could take like only like 20-30% of what they said, but that's still an improvement. You need to decide how much of it actually has merit. Make sure that like when you're choosing your friends, you don't just surround yourself with yes men and people who just tell you what you want to hear. It's so good and refreshing to have friends who are willing to call you out for like your BS. I greatly appreciate it when people do that, because it allows me to grow as a person, and I also know those people care about me. Those people care about me enough that they want to see me continue to grow, and I think that's just such an important aspect of friendships and relationships. And if you have that, like, you should value that. And I know it sucks in the moment, it does, it really does, but also value when someone takes the time and effort to do that. And then make sure you give it some thought about what they said, and then see how you're going to improve, and then communicate with that friend like, hey, like, I thought about it, and these are ways I think I can improve on whatever, you know, you called me out on. And you can also say the aspects that you disagreed with, just like as long as you're having a mature conversation about it. But yeah, that's very different than dealing with hate comments. Hate comments are definitely their own ball game. You have to remember that for hate comments, there's like two things. If it's like someone you know, or someone like who has the ability to like figure out, you know, who you really are. So if it's not online, or even if it is online, like, knowing how to respond to it maturely while not giving them power. But a lot of times, like if you're dealing with hate online, those people are anonymous and you have no idea who they are. And if someone has no idea who you are, what gives them the right to have judgment over you? It's nothing. Nothing gives them that right. They don't know who you are. They don't know anything about you. So why should their comments have any kind of staying power in your head? They truly shouldn't. You shouldn't care what some random stranger on the internet thinks about you. It's just not worth your time or your mental effort. Because think about it this way. Someone spent 20 seconds writing up a comment on YouTube, or Facebook, or TikTok, or Instagram, or whatever social media. They took like 20 seconds to write up a comment and then just threw it on there, never thought about it again. And then here you are spending, minutes, hours, days, weeks just thinking about what they said and just overthinking it and compounding it in your head. It's not worth it. They're just living there in your head rent free. Don't give them that power. I promise there are people out there that care about you, that are looking out for your well-being. Those are the people that you should put your energy into. Those are the people your thoughts should surround. Trust me, you'll feel a lot more mentally healthy if you do that. And I do say it like it's an easy thing to do. This is a thing that took me years and years to learn. It's a process. Your skin will get thicker over time, but don't let it phase you in the moment. And remember that there's no need to respond. And if you have to, if it makes it better, you can delete their comments. You don't have to deal with it. I've gotten to the point where I try to not delete stuff, but I won't respond unless I can think of something appropriate to respond to or to respond with. But yeah, that was my little soft-spoken rant on how to deal with hate and criticism. I think a lot of these things ultimately come down to maturity, and you'll hear me touch on that a lot in my videos. Talking about things like mental health and growth and maturity. They're things I'm very, very big on. Also stuff that, I studied in college, so if you like these videos, let me know in the comments if you have any thoughts about, dealing with hate or criticism, especially if I didn't touch on it in this video. I would love to, see what you have to say, and maybe I can learn some things from you guys as well. But yeah, that is it for this time. I do hope that you enjoyed it and that you enjoyed the soft-spoken video again. But yeah, I will see you guys soon. If you are new here, I would appreciate if you subscribe to the channel, if you're awake at this point, but I greatly appreciate that. The channel is still new and I could use all the support I can get. The people who are here already know that I'm trying to build a community of people who are supporting each other. I want my comment section to, be like a safe space for people who are, no matter what kind of day you had or what kind of background you have, your religion, your race, your ethnicity, same thing, your creed, ideologies, it doesn't matter. We're all here to just bring each other up, because ultimately all we care about is, you finding your happiness. So, that's why I want to call it a community, because maybe it starts with me posting videos, but it's not like a black and white creator relationship. It goes beyond me. So, if you see someone struggling in the comments section and you have the time and ability to respond to them, like, support them. Maybe you'll make their day. Trust me, it's worth it. But yeah, that's it for this time. I will see you guys soon with another new